Okay, so we're going to take Michael Jordan here, and we're going to turn him into a Smurf. The first thing we have to do is you have to make a good selection. So we're going to do that first with our lasso tool. So go grab your lasso tool. Make sure there is no feather. You do not want his outlines to be feathered. Okay, so make sure you've got 0 on the feather. And then you're just going to start selecting him. Okay? And this is our initial selection, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to use your polygonal lasso tool to do the initial selection. Okay, so you should have marching ants around him. And now we're going to make it a better selection. You have your quick mask. Down here, it's underneath your colors. And when you roll over it, it should pop up that it's edit and quick mask. When you have marching ants, you can click on quick mask. So everyone go ahead and do that. And if you think of this like a stencil, it will help out. Where it is red, that area is not selected, and where it is clear, that area is selected. When you're working with quick mask, you can only use black, white, or gray. So notice how your colors changed to black and white. If they are not black and white, if you've got a gray, make sure you change it to black and white. So click D on the keyboard for default colors. Then you go and you paint. You paint in quick mask. So go grab your paintbrush tool and change your paintbrush to a hard-edged circle. You may need to make your brush smaller or bigger by your left bracket or your right bracket. And zoom in, Command plus. And what we want to do now is just refine our selection. You can see up on mine, right here I kind of messed up with my selection. I went inside of his head a little bit. So black, when you paint with black, you take away from the selection. When you paint with white, I'm going to hit X on my keyboard to switch back and forth. When you paint with white, you add to your selection. So you want to go in, and I'm just going to clean it up. I'm holding down the space bar so that I can use the hand. And again, X on the keyboard will go between the black and white. And you just want to go through along all of the edges and clean up your selection. Holding down the Shift key will paint with straight lines. So I click the beginning point, and I hold down the Shift key. And I know like on right here where his armband is, okay, that got selected, but I don't want it selected. I don't want his uniform selected. I don't want his armband selected. I just want his skin. So everything else should be painted with black or be red. Okay, so it's covered up. Okay, so once you have the quick mask the way you think it looks good, you can get out of quick mask by clicking on that same icon down here. Now you're going to notice that I have some sparklies that are not supposed to be there, okay, which means that I didn't paint that area. So you're going to go back into quick mask and make sure you get all of the areas that you missed. And you gotta make sure you're in quick mask to paint it. Okay, so that's good enough. Now we're going to change the skin coloring. Okay, and to change the skin coloring, It's only going to affect the area that is selected. That's why it's important that all of his skin is selected with a good selection. You go up to image, you go to image adjustment, and this is where you go to hue and saturation. And now you can change him. He could be like the Incredible Hulk, or we're doing the Smurf. Okay, so kind of find a good balance here. Now look at his eyes. His eyes are changing. You don't want the whites of his eyes to change. So I need to cancel. I need to go back into my quick mask. And I need to take out his eyes. Okay, so I need to paint those with my black paintbrush. You do not want the eyes, and you also do not want teeth to change. You just want his skin to change. When you do this for your project, hair, you don't want the hair to change, so it's important that you don't have that in the selection. So now I can go back up to image adjustments, hue and saturation. There is And there is Michael Jordan as a Smurf.